All right, welcome back. It is the Vegas Take, Sharp and Shapiro. So glad you could join us on a Friday. So there is at least one team that is looking to sign Colin Kaepernick, or at least they're looking into it. I shouldn't say they're looking to sign Colin Kaepernick. Now, if you don't know who Colin Kaepernick is, if you've been living under a rock, Kaepernick left the NFL, the whole kneeling controversy. I've been very, I guess you could say, honest and outspoken against what Colin Kaepernick was doing. I do believe that his heart was in the right place, but I question the timing of when he started kneeling, and I also say kneeling does not solve the problem. Unless you are a racist in this country, you understand that there are issues between law enforcement and minorities. It's just a fact. So what exactly did Colin Kaepernick do? I know he donated some money. Did he speak to politicians? Did he speak to law enforcement? No, the answer is no, he didn't. What did he do? He profited off of it. He's made more money off the field because of this kneeling controversy than he would have made on the field. So, yes, I think it is fair to question Colin Kaepernick. I think his heart was probably in the right place when he started this thing, but I think it's changed over time. I really do. And I think he is a distraction, and he is not a good football player at this point. Probably not good enough to be in the NFL. So I ask you, JD, which team do you think is going after Colin Kaepernick at this point? Take a guess.
Well, which team needs a tight end? That's what I'm asking myself. No, but seriously, I'll ask you a couple of questions. Is it AFC or NFC?
I'm not going to give you that answer.
You won't give me anything.
No.
I have to outright guess.
Yes, I'll give you three guesses.
Okay, first guess is Indianapolis Colts.
Incorrect.
Okay, I legitimately don't know this, by the way.
Don't think too hard.
I know.
Because it's dead air. It's bad for radio.
Yeah, second guess is the Buffalo Bills.
Incorrect, but you're close.
I'm close. The third guess is the New York Jets.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Really?
As you know, Ben Roethlisberger went down.
That makes sense.
And he's out for the entire year. And right now, Colin Kaepernick's agent has reportedly reached out, by the way, to 3 separate teams for the quarterback position. But based on all the reports that are coming out now, the one team that is seriously considering signing Kaepernick would be the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers are screwed. Okay, they're a young team this year. They're not going anywhere.
You think they're screwed?
Well, I do.
They just traded for Minka Fitzpatrick, who was a first-round pick out of Bama.
They don't have a quarterback.
Mason Rudolph.
He's not
out of Oklahoma State.
You think that with him
I'll tell you this,
at the quarterback position, they're going to make the playoffs?
I am taking the Pittsburgh Steelers, they're 6.5-point underdogs this weekend against the Niners.
Okay, but that's one game.
I'm taking them 6.5, and they have a lot of talent defensively.
But that's one game. I'm talking about the big picture. But anyway, let's get back to Colin Kaepernick here real quickly. The guy wears the Fidel Castro shirt. He wears the pig socks depicting all police officers as pigs. And people, he thinks that everyone should take him seriously. Listen, I have no doubt that many in the NFL, their hearts are in the right place. But I make this statement all the time when it comes to Colin Kaepernick and the kneeling situation. If all you are doing is kneeling, you're not doing anything. I'm sorry, you're not. There are many players in the NFL that are not just have kneeled in the past, but they've actually gone to Washington. They've gone and spoken to law enforcement. What has Colin Kaepernick done? He's certainly profited off of this. Don't tell me he hasn't. It is an absolute fact that just the money he's made from Nike alone is more money than he would have made if he had an NFL contract, period. And people say, well, he's donated money. Throwing money at this problem is not going to solve the problem, folks. It's not going to solve the problem. So what do you think about this? Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should take a chance and sign Colin Kaepernick? What if he starts kneeling again? What if that whole fiasco starts again? My biggest issue with this is not necessarily the kneeling and the American flag, but what else are you doing to solve the problem? Are you speaking to law enforcement? Are you speaking to politicians? There is more you can do than just take a knee. And then I see some of these high school kids in Las Vegas taking knees before games. I see some parents doing it, and I turn around and I say, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I don't have a problem with the high school kids doing it. They're not getting paid to play football. They're not affecting a brand. They're not affecting the sport. They're not affecting ratings and viewership. That's their choice because they want.
Sorry, but I don't think Colin Kaepernick is a role model.
I'm not saying he's a role model, but he is paid to do what he does, and he leverages that platform to spread his message, which has turned
Nike has paid him not because of his football skills.
He has made money off of this. He has turned himself into a spectacle and made money off of. But a kid in high school whose son or whose friend was gunned down by a gang member or something, I have no problem with him kneeling. I have no issue with that at all.
There would be nobody kneeling if not for Colin Kaepernick. Let's make no mistake about that. 702-257-5396 is the number to call. Again, 257-5396. Do you think that Colin Kaepernick deserves another shot in the NFL? Do you think the Pittsburgh Steelers should sign him? Do you think Colin Kaepernick deserves to be an NFL football player at this point? We'll take your phone calls, 257-5396. And let's start off with Johnny. Johnny, thank you for calling in. What do you think about this?
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, Brian, what's up?
What's up, man? What's up?
Number one. Hey, I say Colin Kaepernick's not going to do anything for the Steelers, and I'll talk to you about that in a month when we see that firsthand.
Okay.
He's been out too long, and he never was a great, he didn't really make anything happen, or he'd still be playing, even with pink socks on. But
yeah, Patrick Willis helped him out a lot.
And I'm also hoping JD will give us another pick besides the Steelers, because I think the Niners are going to beat the Steelers, because they're all sulking right now.
I don't care if they beat him. I care that they beat him by 7.
Okay. Hey, well, I'll listen to you on the air. I'll see you in a month, Brian, about this Sacker pick.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Johnny.
I get the sense that Johnny is not a Colin Kaepernick fan. That's just what I'm guessing. But listen, like I said, I've been very open about this. Listen, you have the right to take a knee. You have the right to do that. It is your First Amendment right. But this is what people don't understand. And we've had calls about this before. People say, well, it's his right to knee. Yeah, you're right. He has the right to knee. But guess what? It's the NFL's right as the employer to tell him that they believe he is hurting the league and he is hurting their bottom line by kneeling, and they have the right to tell him that he cannot take a knee. Why is it so hard for people to understand that? I don't get it. You have the right to hold up a sign that says, I hate the police. You can go on the sidewalk, on your public sidewalk, and say, I think all police officers are racist. Now, I would call you an idiot for doing that, but you have the First Amendment right to do that and hold up a sign and pretty much say whatever you want. You can't say you're going to bomb somebody, or you can't put a threat out there. But if you say that you hate police officers, you have the right to do that. But guess what? The second you are working for somebody, the second you are working for an employer, they have a right to tell you, no, you have to stop doing that or you are going to be fired. Make no mistake about it. That's exactly what the NFL is doing. That's what they did. And they didn't even say you were going to be fired. They just said, we'd start you with a suspension and, an escalating scale. And they're absolutely right. They have no problem. There's no issues there. They have the right to tell you you can't take a knee. And I have the feeling if Colin Kaepernick is back as an NFL player, this same stuff is going to happen all over again, I think.
He's going to get paid to do it again. Nike's going to recommend it. He's got a major – we don't know what's in that contract, but he's getting paid $10, $15 million a year to do nothing.
I would say perhaps more than that.
It's very possible that it's more than that.
Yeah.
But I will say this, the Steelers, fine, they could add another quarterback. Colin Kaepernick's future, if it is in the NFL, is a tight end or defensive end. He has the size, he has the speed, he has the hands, he has the hand-eye coordination, he has the ability. And they do need a tight end. But do I think that he should be signed as a quarterback? Absolutely not, because he's just not good enough. His last year, he had Frank Gore, he had Patrick Willis, he had a really good defensive front as well, and he fumbled the ball 13 times in 11 games. Mm-hmm. He's not a great quarterback. He's a running quarterback. He's an outstanding athlete. But should he have an opportunity to come back to the league as a quarterback? In my opinion, no. As a tight end, I think he could be a top 10 tight end.
I'm sorry, but I just don't support this guy.
Well, Donald Trump said it himself a month ago. I have no problem if he gets signed, if he's good enough. He said, and I quote, if he's good enough. And I totally agree with that, if he's good enough. And I don't believe that he's good enough as a quarterback.
I think it says it all when this guy has made more money off the field for the kneeling controversy than he would have made on the field. To me, that speaks volumes. What has he done to address the issue of law enforcement and the way they treat minorities? What has he done besides taking a knee and donating some money? What else has he done? The answer is nothing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. If you don't think that there are issues between law enforcement and minorities, if you don't think that there are racists out there, then you're probably a complicit racist yourself. So what did taking a knee actually do? We know there are problems in this country. We know that there are people out there that look at someone and based on their skin color, treat somebody differently. Those problems need to change, but throwing money at the problem is not going to help anything. We'll take your calls. What do you guys think about this? Do you think Colin Kaepernick should come back to the NFL? 257-5396, 702-257-5396. If you want to be a part of the conversation, we'll be back right after this.